way, this is how it is. This is the path. This is just the nature of the game, the nature of trading, and the nature of reality. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about exactly what goes on and what happens on the markets when you decide to start taking it seriously and you decide to become a day trader, or as I would like to call it, a floor general. Now, the honest truth is that there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of false narratives when it comes to day trading, that online moguls, online gurus, your friends, your family, everyone is just going to tell you different things. And I might even be the guy telling you something different, because when you start to experience it for yourself, you'll see another side to it, another perspective that I cannot. But what I've seen in this space is that the nature of the game is very slow-paced. It's a very slow-paced game. It's more like you are going out on a hunt every single day. And if you guys have watched like any National Geographic documentaries on people who live and go out to hunt, you'll see that on most days they actually do not catch anything. Most of their time is actually spent walking, surveying the scene, and patiently waiting for a target to approach. Or if they set out a trap, they set out their trap, they come back after a few days to see what they've caught. Sometimes they're going to see that they've caught nothing. Sometimes they're going to see that the trap was triggered, but the target managed to escape. And that's just the nature of the game. That's just the nature of real life. And we can transmute that into trading, because that is the nature of trading, is that you are going to be a hunter, essentially. And you're going to equip yourself with the necessary tools, ideas, and knowledge for you to traverse the scene, survey everything, and essentially see what you can catch in terms of pips. Now, there's a lot of ways to kill a bird with a stone. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. So now it comes down to your personality, your character, and what you want to use in your tool, in your arsenal of tools to skin the cat. And you can be someone who may be a bit impatient, so you go into the smaller time frames, i.e. the 5-minute, the 15-minute time frames, and that's where you execute your trades from, knowing that you're going to lose more often than not because you're on a smaller time frame. But if you're a person who can deal with that frustration, then that's just the perfect strategy for you. Or you're going to be a person who goes on to the higher time frames and patiently waits for trades to come. And even then you might lose a lot, but you'll know that your trade setups are more solid. But you'll be frustrated from the amount of waiting that you have to do and the amount of patience and discipline that you're going to have. So it's going to come down to you personally as a human being, not what your teacher or your guru or your market expert told you. All of that can be solid advice, you can use it, but most of the people who give you this advice are not actual traders. Otherwise, they would not be selling you anything, because they'll be making their money on the markets. It's like, man, would you expect Floyd Mayweather to make people pay him to learn how to box? No, he's not going to do that. He's just going to teach someone that he sees has potential in boxing how to box, because he sees that person can become the next great thing. And it's the same thing in trading. Most people who are selling you these things are not actually floor generals. They are marketers, and they're getting you to come and use their brokerage firms, their trading courses, their signals, all of these things. And that's essentially how they're making their money. Whether they choose to invest their money into the market or not, I don't know, man, but all I know is that is just the reality of the situation. So when it comes to trading, you'll come across these realities that you'll see that it's not a fast-paced game. It's actually a slow-paced game. And the key to winning the game is to have persistent discipline that will allow you to overcome all the obstacles, go through the reality of being patient and having to wait, and the uncertainty of the market. So it takes a very special type of person to sit through something like that. But at the same time, it's also something that can be taught. So it really comes down to how serious you want to make this as an endeavor. Because what comes naturally to one can be taught to another. But the way for you to actually understand this is to understand that trading and life are one thing, and there's nothing separate. As long as your mind is not right, you will not be able to execute perfectly every single time. You will not be able to trade and to stick to your plan. So you have to understand that trading is a very introspective and introverted activity that's going to require you to sit down and actually assess the person that you are. And that's why a lot of people quit, man. Because trading will expose you. It'll expose your personality. It'll expose the greed. It'll expose the hunger. It'll expose everything about you. And a lot of people are not ready to face that. Because the honest truth is, everyone can trade. Everyone in a country where they have a laptop, they have a constant internet connection, eventually, over your lifetime, you're going to get money, man. And there are trading platforms where you can invest as little as $10, $50, $1,000, whatever. But you'll see people not even do that, because trading is going to expose you. It's going to expose the type of person that you are, and it's going to expose all your flaws. And if you're not the type of person that can take that criticism and improve, then you're just going to be frustrated the whole time, wondering what is going on. But it's because you're being exposed by the market, and the market is telling you the type of person that you actually are. And the only way you're going to make money trading is for you to correct all of those flaws and those mistakes. But I'm here to tell you, those flaws and those mistakes are not your fault. It's the society that you're raised in. It's the people that you're raised by. It's the people in your environment. But at the same time, you played a part in all of it. You didn't know better, but you have to take responsibility, man. You walk through the fire yourself. So this is where trading really gets tricky, man. In that it's literally you walking across the hallway naked, and everybody can see your parts, and there's nothing you can do about it except for learn to deal with it emotionally. Because the reality is the reality. But the reality is not the actual reality. Because the actual reality does not care. Life does not care about you walking around naked and showing your parts to everyone. But the reality is that we have created as society, as people, in our heads, are the ones that actually leave you vulnerable, and are the ones that leave you exposed, which is why a lot of people cannot follow through, because they have that inner voice that was projected by someone else in the society, falling onto their brain and telling them they cannot do this and they cannot do that. And just like that, that is how the Matrix is created. Because the Matrix is a human construct. It's not the actual reality. The actual reality is there's undying potential in this world. Potential for anything, and anything is possible. Anything can happen. But in our reality as people, as society, there are rules, there are laws, there's this, there's that, used to identify this and that. And it works when you're dealing with people. But now when you're dealing with something such as the market, which literally embodies life, it's going to leave you frustrated, and it's going to leave you angry, because there'll be that disconnect of you not understanding that this is not a man-made thing. This is a very spiritual thing. And the only way you're going to make money in the markets is for you to become enlightened. It's for you to awaken to the true nature of reality. And the true nature of reality is that anything is possible. That's the true nature of reality. Anything is possible. And people continue to show this as decades, millenniums go on. People continue to create things that seemed impossible 10 years ago, that seemed impossible 50 years ago, that seemed impossible 100 years ago. Because anything is possible. Anything is possible, and that's just the nature of the reality. And that's what you need to understand and you need to get. It doesn't mean that because anything is possible, it's like, yay, anything is possible, we can live out our dreams. No, bro, anything is possible, so this shit can really kick you down. At the same time, we can be like, yay, but it can kick you down as well. So, when you come into trading and you decide to dedicate yourself, all of these things will be exposed to you, and the truth will finally start to reveal itself. The rabbit hole will finally start to show itself. The light at the end of the tunnel will finally start to come to light, because you'll start to see for yourself. And that's the only thing you could ever do, is to actually start to see for yourself. That's what I recommend for everyone. So I tell everyone, man, even if you're not going to take trading seriously, even if you don't see it as a profession, try. And try for a long time. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Because you're going to actually learn more about yourself than you actually are the markets. Because the markets are the markets, man. And the markets are going to do what the markets do. That's the same way with reality. Reality is going to do what reality does. But it now comes down to how do you respond and how do you react. And that's where the exposure starts.